What a day for India, continuing on from that magnificent turnaround that they had yesterday. Australia might have added 37 runs more, 3 wickets have fallen the entire day, but that was in the first session. Next 2 sessions was the pitch changed, because now we have got an absolute featherbed there.
Is the game still going on in Perth only?
It is going on. It is at the Optus Stadium. Yes.
I don't know. I felt like that it's going on in Wankhede. In the morning, when I checked the score, once that India started to bat, I was expecting 2-3 wickets to fall. I saw that 80-90 runs for no loss. Then I thought that maybe I've opened the score of Syed Mustaqari that has also started today.
No. It is Optus Stadium, man. That's
And
why.
the first test, day 2.
Day 2, India firmly in the driver's seat at 218 for no loss. Why I say that? Because they are 172, but with a 46 run lead, 218 for no loss with Yashasvi Jaiswal nearing a magnificent century. I mean, it's redemption for him after he was dropped after he fell for a duck. But KL Rahul.
And was dropped today as well.
Yes, 62 runs.
Khwaja again, I think, who failed to get down in time.
Khwaja, yet again, yeah. Although, I mean, these are
toughie.
Tough chance, but yeah, it's 50-50. Either it sticks.
But the ball's been after him, since yesterday we saw he first dropped that catch on
Nitish Reddy.
Then got a similar one just a few deliveries later.
But then he held on to a tougher chance.
He held on to a much tougher
chance. I don't blame
chance.
Usman Khwaja because in Perth, slip cordon often tends to be a little, few steps backwards because of the carry, and that's not been happening, and it's falling short, and that's really surprising for me to see. Yesterday also, I think that was the case. A few deliveries did fall short of Virat Kohli to begin with in the first innings, and then today also the wicket suddenly has absolutely changed. Everything has changed.
Yeah, I mean, see, it was hotter today, so the pitch has become flatter. And India have capitalized on the best batting condition that was there.
I was listening to Sunil Gavaskar in that tea show, if I'm not wrong. He mentioned the fact that maybe Australia went in with the heavy roller. So I think that was not the best of decisions to make by the Australian team, because they had to keep in mind that it's going to be India who's going to bat most of the day, because they were left with just 3 wickets. So they should not have gone with that. And see what could have been the reason for going with a heavy roller early in the morning, because they had the option of.
I still sort of have my doubts if that really made a big difference over here, because again they would have wanted to give themselves the best chance as well. There was still an Alex Carey, and you would have wanted the ideal conditions to be there, and you've seen in the past India has struggled to clear out the tail at times. So I'm not going to read too much into the use of the heavy roller. I think it's just one team that dominated, and I think that the conditions really have changed, because these were as flat conditions as you could have asked for. Yes, the Australian bowlers, some questions can be asked of them. I think a few questions of Pat Cummins, the captain, could also be asked with regards to, I just felt at one point he had gotten into the shell a little too soon. He was on the defense with those field sets. So maybe a couple of questions there. But these were just conditions that India made. You make hay in sunshine. It was that kind of a scenario for the Indian batters. Credit to the 2 openers for remaining unbeaten at the end of the day. It was good display of skill. Took a few blows on the body as well, but looked in control. Were there too many half chances that were given by both batters? I'd say no. Yes, there were a few play and a miss sort of situations, but that happens at all times in Test cricket. But credit where credit's due. The conditions were there to be exploited, and the Indian batters did so.
Yep. I mean, see, Cummins had his worst day, I think, ever since the 2023 Ashes contest at, you may say, the 4th test, wherein he was absolutely plastered into oblivion. Cummins bowled very jadedly. His captaincy was all over the place. And in that 4th test, or it may be Leeds, I may be mistaking it for Leeds. In Leeds, he was totally undone, and that is why I think Cummins faced a really bad situation. And here, I think it matches up to that, because he was looking very clueless today. He didn't have the same body language, the aggressive body language. Stark troubled the batters in a few, but then Yashasvi got his own quip. It's coming on too slowly. That's what he said. So he responded with a flick six. He responded. He was negotiating him pretty easily. Hazelwood looked the best, but then how much will you bowl Hazelwood? Cummins looked out of sorts. Lyon looked out of sorts. And I had mentioned that if Nathan Lyon is taken out of the attack, then Australia don't have a plan B. They don't have that pressure quotient by which they can maintain. So Yashasvi took care of Nathan Lyon also. Rahul also batted very well, 62 runs. And it's a redemption of sorts for even KL Rahul. Because see, for far too often we have been accused of saying, oh, why do you back this player? Why do you back him to such an hill? You are a paid PR. You are a this guy. You could.
We also get abused in equal measure.
We get, but then there is a reason.
For not backing him.
Yeah.
For not backing him, see, it's a fine rope. Anybody, if they want to experience the field that we all are in, it's like walking not on a tightrope, it's like walking on a samurai sword. You miss one, you'll be panned. You get it right, you'll still be panned. And that is why I know that how KL Rahul must be feeling. But then today, he was the able ally to Yashasvi Jaiswal. Jaiswal was going for shots. Rahul and one end up and ensured that he would blunt the Australian bowlers. You are wondering, right, who would play 150 balls, who would play 200 balls? You got your answer, both Yashasvi and KL Rahul. Yeah. So today there were 3 stars. Jasprit Bumrah, 5-wicket haul yet again, 9th 5-wicket haul away from home. Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul. Now you have laid the base. India will want a target in excess of 450. Without that, they are not going to settle for anything less.
Yeah, they're not declaring. See, there's all the time that
safe now,
that's all the time.
No, it is
that
a bit
India
safe,
have. They can choose to bat for however long they wish to. It is, you can bat the whole of tomorrow and just ask them to come on towards the last half hour. Maybe that you can bat for that long. That's how much time India have now in this Test match. There is a definite result now, unless of course the rain gods do something mischievous, chances of which look bleak.
There is no rain for the remainder of the 3 days. It's going to get, it's cool tomorrow, it's hot on Sunday and Monday. So that's why no rain, you're seeing a definite result, and looking at it, India are 85%, I put them as one of the favorites to win. 85-15, that is my win predictor according to the current situation, because if they get to 450, the cracks will open up maybe after lunch tomorrow. That's what Wasim Akram on air commented. That
during
looking at
the pitch report.
If that happens, then Australia are staring at an abyss, because I don't think their batters are capable enough to ensure that they put up a fight.
And it's going to be suitable for the Indian bowlers as well, because even yesterday Rishabh Pant before the game was talking to the broadcaster where he was mentioning that the wicket is soft, but it's not like it's soft. It's not that hard that it will open up very soon. It will progressively open up. So it's already day 2. By the end of if not lunch tomorrow, by the end approximately by tea tomorrow, definitely the cracks are going to open up. And like you also mentioned, it's going to get hotter as we progress into the Test match. So that is also going to come into consideration. So the Indian fast bowlers are going to get much more help. Plus the confidence that the Indian bowlers have from the first innings, and Jasprit Bumrah on flat conditions, he's somebody who can extract something. In conditions where the cracks open up, the Perth is known. As soon as the cracks open up, it's absolutely a living hell for the batters, and that's exactly what the Indian bowlers are going to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, see, the nature of the wicket is soft, like you mentioned. That can be like Waka 2013. In Waka 20
progressively gets
no, even on those cracks, England still managed 350. They still managed a total in excess of 330 on the 4th innings. Here, when I look at it, see, there is a risk that, okay, is the pitch too flat? Because now heading into day 3, sure, there will be deterioration, but whether it will be rapid deterioration, that I do not know.
I don't remember who the commentator was, but he was pointing out that as per his conversation with the curator, because of the storm that had taken place a couple of days in advance of the Test match, there is some moisture underneath. So and it's because of that what the curator had in mind to dish out the classic Perth wicket, as has been the case over here for the last 4 Test matches. It's a bit of a deviation from that, but there is some moisture now left underneath, which he didn't have enough time to take care of then.
Well, it won't be the first time that rain has scuppered a particular groundsman's plans of making a ideal pitch for the hosts, because I remember in 2011, there was too much of rain heading into the Gaba Ashes opener. And that Ashes opener, because of all the rain, first day, 267 England were bundled out for. Peter Siddle getting that 280, if I may think. Peter Siddle taking a hat trick on his birthday. Australia responded with 560.
They batted on day 2, right?
Yeah, they batted on day 1 and day 2. They batted on day 1 also.
Very less on day 1.
Yeah.
Because
But then England notched up 517 for 1. The pitch refused to deteriorate. And I somehow think that perhaps this could be the kind of Perth wicket that is, unless the cracks open up.
no, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I'll tell you why. Because at that time, I think the weather was overcast. It wasn't too hot also.
It was sunny. It was sunny on all the days.
But the thing that is going to be here is like Wasim Akram during the tea show, same while the pitch report on the tea show, what he mentioned was also that the grass that was there, that has also started to die out. So even if there was moisture, that it's sort of done and dusted with because of the heat that's going to come in, and the cracks eventually will open. Even Mitchell Stark yesterday post the game, he also talked about this, that they are going to open up before what they were actually expecting. So I think it's no way that Australia.
While Wasim Akram was pointing at a few areas on the pitch, particularly around the fourth stump and all, where he could see the cracks sort of start to develop. But I don't know why.
One, two deliveries hit that crack today, and
it stayed low.
Yeah,
it stayed low as well on a couple of occasions. But I don't know why. I just have a feeling that India will still get good conditions tomorrow.
Yeah.
As you progress furthermore, second half of tomorrow, then going into the fourth day as well. Now, I do have a sort of feeling that you are going into the fourth day as well. I think Australia are going to find it hard, but India still have one good session left to make the most of the batting conditions.
Yes, sure. I mean, that's why I said, even in the tea time, I was saying, make a target in excess of 450 for two simple reasons. One, the Australian bowlers would already be fatigued heading into Adelaide then. Okay. First test of the series, I have already given a signal of intent. I am tiring you out. I am cooking you guys. What can you come up with next? Okay. Adelaide might be different. The conditions there much more suited to the Australians in this. Maybe. But how will Australia improve their batting? Because the batting's been a concern for them for this entire WTC cycle. I mean, you have been at pains to point out like how this WTC cycle has not been good for Australia, especially with the bat. And if they lose this match, then all nations for the first time in the WTC cycle would have lost 2 tests or more at home. And Australia had lost only 1, that was to West Indies. But they are now on the verge of losing 2 consecutive.
India first WTC cycle?
They didn't lose at home at all.
That's what
one game.
One game, yeah. Twice for the first time you're saying.
In the 2019-2021 cycle, New Zealand didn't lose a single test at home.
Yeah.
That's why they went to the final. Australia lost.
India lost 1, I think.
1 test to England. That was that Chennai game. Okay. And prior to that also, 1921, India lost primarily to other nations. I mean, England, they lost 1 test there. So that is why I think.
22.
No, 2020, they lost at Leeds, no, that 21 series.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was after the WTC cycle. That was after
the Birmingham one happened after the WTC cycle.
Even 21 also, because the 4 test matches happened after the WTC final. Yeah. So that is why.
Like this time.
This time, when you look at it, every nation has had their home advantage.
So that's a very pertinent stat. Day 1 batting average was 12.8. Day 2 batting average 66.7. I believe you did some number crunching, Siddharth, in which you were showing how from 44 the batting average has now come to 34 in Australia.
Yes.
Today I think was a big aberration.
Which is why this Perth wicket now, forget about all the trends, forget about everything. I think you cannot judge this Perth
This is also to do, I think, with the drop-in factor now. Yeah. That people tend to forget at times. There are more and more stadiums over the years now. Earlier it just used to be Adelaide, then MCG, then now this time Perth as well. So 3 of the 5 venues have all drop-in pitches. Yeah. And look at how big of a failure the drop-in pitch was at the World Cup. Now this is just one board taking care of it. That time you had the authority on cricket taking care of conditions and it failed miserably. Yeah. You're told, okay, it's getting made in Australia, and now it's going to be coming all across to the
From
Atlantic
Florida, and then it's
and
gonna
all
be
of that. Then it was
transported.
one got to know it's being made in Florida.
Yeah.
So
people who are making it came from Australia.
exactly. So all of those things happened, and we know how it turned out to be in New York.
But the thing is, see, with drop-in pitches, unfortunately in Australia, I mean, this is the way how it goes. Because one thing for all the fans who want to know why drop-in pitches in Australia, Optus just doesn't host cricket.
Exactly.
It hosts rugby, it hosts AFL, same with Adelaide, hosts rugby, AFL, and same with Melbourne. It
They also-
hosts multiple sports.
They also host weddings.
Really?
Yes.
Do they?
Yes.
Which ones?
Most stadiums these days, in fact, do.
In Australia?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Have you
See,
been to one?
I think concerts.
And
Concerts,
concerts,
yeah. Even the
everyone
Narendra
knows.
Modi Stadium
Even
has concerts.
your
but
top of
Narendra
the
Modi
line,
is not a drop-in.
Yeah.
your top of the line football clubs also these days at times, they rent out spaces for private functions at times.
But at least there, the weddings can be a bit more disciplined. Here, if you keep a wedding in a cricket stadium, the outfield will be barren.
You saw the outrage, right, at the Diljit concert that happened in Delhi.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
were part of that, na? To
I was part of it,
create
but
that mess.
I wasn't contributor to the mess.
But still, you were there.
It works both ways. It's easy to point fingers at people and attendees.
Yeah.
While they are culpable,
No.
the management is equally culpable.
Yeah,
I'm sharing personal experience.
Yep.
Because you don't give proper immunities, people will also be, forced, or the hand will be forced.
correct.
It's a two-way street.
see, today, whatever demons are there on the wicket, it's gone. Okay. The one example that I saw was the Yashasvi Jaiswal drive through mid-off. He pierced that gap between extra cover and mid-off of Stark. If it was day one and the moisture and the content was still there, he could have edged it to gully.
Yeah.
But the extra zip is gone, that moisture is gone, the cracks haven't opened up much. That is why you could play that drive on the up. In Australia, it's considered a bit fatal if you play the drive on the up.
Jaiswal had to do. We talked
Now,
about this yesterday
can-
also when we were discussing his dark. We talked about this yesterday also that he had to get runs in Australia.
Can we try answer one question? I know KL Rahul still unbeaten, and his knock, if it ends up being a 3-digit knock with perhaps a star against it, you never know.
You never know. I mean,
Then what
firstly,
do you do? And I want to begin with Sashwat.
yeah. Like how he
What-
called up Gulati for Mohammad Siraj, I called him today for KL Rahul. Because he's been the biggest critic. Okay, see, he has his views, he has his opinion on it, which is
Whatever. Now I'm saying it looks like India are all but assured. I would say
of a 1-0 lead going into Adelaide.
Yeah, assured of taking the lead
Yeah.
in this series when the odds are stacked against them.
Yeah.
Now, if India have managed to do that, and if they are able to do that, KL Rahul would have contributed in a big way.
Yeah.
He was your better looking batters, one of your better looking batters in the first innings, may not have been the highest run scorer, but still looked the most assured. I know Nitish Reddy got those 41 runs, but KL Rahul, if it wasn't for the controversy, who knows if India would have added another 20-30 runs over there.
Yep.
Now, if whether or not, I'm saying, but if he gets out at 62 also, let's say, for that matter, he doesn't add anything to his name tomorrow morning. How do we look at KL Rahul now?
I get him at number 3 for the next game at least.
But Shubman Gill is fit.
Shubman Gill, it looks very unlikely. I still feel it's going to be very
Let's
unlikely.
assume he's fit.
Then Dhruv Jurel goes out.
And he goes to number 6.
Yeah.
No, either Dhruv Jurel goes out, Nitish Reddy, but even Nitish Reddy.
Nitish Reddy
What
played
is,
well.
how are you looking at KL Rahul? Does he make a case for the second test match firstly?
Then he automatically does.
Now,
but
I'm saying at 62
yeah, even at 62.
and whatever 20 odd that he got.
Yeah, then Dhruv Jurel, until and unless Dhruv Jurel comes and scores a century from here, I think.
He may not even get to bat for all we know.
No, I don't think India is going to declare. Because there's too much time left till.
Could happen.
Because why do you need to declare? It's
You
not
don't
like you're
have
running
to.
out of time.
I agree, you don't have to.
See, but run scoring on this wicket is still very, very attritional. See, 57 overs have happened.
Look at the strike rate, 40 and 46.
So, you are going to take 2 sessions to score maybe another 250 runs. 2 sessions. Which leaves you also have to understand it's a 5-test series, not a 3-test series.
You want to wrap things up as well.
Tomorrow, if you get 218 runs more, supposing 250 runs more, you get 468. Teams don't chase 450 plus.
450 plus, I think you're declaring.
You have to declare.
But I don't see India going to 250
So whatever,
without-
okay, Dhruv Jurel gets 100. You wanted it, you get it. Then
Yeah.
KL Rahul.
Until and unless still I think KL Rahul will come in at number 6 and Dhruv Jurel will go out.
But
I have no other
he's made a case now.
He obviously has.
Yeah.
The way he's
And you're forced to include him
yeah.
with a heavy heart.
Always, no heavy heart. It was always about the team. It was for the team.
Yeah.
My views were for the team. He scored runs, so he merits his place back into the side for me.
But for how long can this be the case?
For whom?
KL Rahul.
See, does KL Rahul have a say in where he gets to bat? Apparently not.
Is it actually not a good thing in a way in these situations? See, if he was stuck on, let's say, doing only 1, 2, 3, 4, if he just wanted to be around that area, for you forgot okay, top 3,
Yeah.
then it's a problem because again, Shubman Gill, you're looking at the future in Shubman Gill. But then he says, okay, I can open for you, I can bat at 3 also, I can do 6 as well, and I can get you runs once in a while. You drop me, then you take me to Australia, I get you runs there. I may have flopped in Bangalore, I may have made a mess of, may have made a joke out of myself in a warm-up match, in an India game rather.
Yeah.
And then,
Look,
comes the big stage.
It
I
is the
get you
big
crucial
stage.
runs.
Yeah, see, again with KL Rahul, it's very easy to hate on him. It's very easy to actually throw barbs at him because he never responds on any kind of thing. There is no
Nobody
separate.
responds.
No, he does.
Yeah.
I'd say that was one, but how we forgetting that interview that he did with the host broadcaster a couple of months back?
Of course.
That's another way of responding, and he said that yes, you get affected, and now response cannot always be the angry response or jibe taken, or let's say what Mohammad Shami did the other day. when he was unhappy
See,
with
Mohammad
the
Shami is
form.
immature. Let's be very honest about it. Mohammad Shami is very immature in the way how he handles things. So,
Yeah, that was a bit too much. Because
Both
Sanjay Manjrekar
instances.
was doing his job, he was asked something, he replied. Anybody could have
see,
said that.
Mohammad Shami feeds upon the toxicity that is there in the Indian fan base at this point in time. Because he can easily throw the journalist to the wolves and then later on back out. Okay, I didn't do anything, boss. Why you're spreading fake news about me? But then in the end, it was true. And even here, why did he have to criticize Sanjay Manjrekar for what he's doing his own job here? If everybody can criticize everybody for doing their job, then you are the typical Indian cricket fan then who doesn't like what he likes to listen. So that is why it's very important to understand KL Rahul is a very soft target. Let's be very honest about it. He can be dropped on a whim, he can be asked to bat anywhere on a whim.
See, it's not. See, again, I think we're just going way too ahead. Whether he has scored runs, that's great. But
Not
it's
way too ahead.
No, it's no.
See,
it's not
there are people conveniently who have taken out certain.
Achha, but what are you doing? I want to know.
I
what
am
you
playing
doing.
KL Rahul at number 6.
And Jurel is out.
And Jurel is out. Because simple math, I can't fit him at 3 because Shubman might be back. But if Shubman is not back, then I fit him at number 3.
And Jurel also keeps his place.
Jurel keeps his place then. Because Devdutt Padikkal is really facing the heat now. Okay. Which is why I would pick someone who's already gotten the runs and ensures that he's giving stability to the team. Okay. So that is why KL bats at 3 for me if Gill doesn't make it for Adelaide. He bats at number 6 if Gill makes it for Adelaide. And Jurel and DDP get dropped. Tough luck, but that's how the game goes. And KL has established himself in Sena countries. Let's make no mistake about it. Bumrah has taken a lot of wickets and 5-wicket hauls in Sena countries. KL has got most of his runs in the Sena
He's got
countries.
7 of his 8 are Sena.
Exactly.
7
Except
of
for
his-
New Zealand, South Africa, England, Australia, he's done well. Australia, he's trying to ensure that he corrects that
He's an
stat.
average of 20.
20.
Had an average before this test match of 20.
20, yes.
Now I don't know after this test match.
Yep, exactly. So that's why good on KL, good on Yashasvi. We knew Yashasvi would be one of the prime factors, prime run getters. But at this point in time, I would say that India, everything has fallen into place for them. They are in a great position, 218, lead ahead, and they will gun for 450 plus and ensure they win it on day 4 or at max by day 5 first session. And then it gives you additional time to recover for Adelaide then.
The way I look at it, the KL Rahul situation, well, did I want him in the first place? No, I thought you made a decision in Bangalore and you needed to give Iswaran, a chance to prove himself. But again, this is something we knew as we were reading those reports and reporting here as well on Sports Day. We knew that the chances of, him making a debut had become bleak given how KL Rahul was practicing. I do like the fact, and I do agree with you, Siddharth, that he's been a soft target and an easy target. But the numbers don't lie. Let's be reminded of that as well. There are people in Australian cricket, England cricket, who don't even go halfway with those kind of numbers in Test cricket. He still played in excess of 50 Test matches now. People get dropped after 10.
Johnny Westo would disagree with you.
Johnny Bairstow, yes, is.
But then again, they'll say, different position, yeah, different role.
He's a different case altogether. But speaking of being a different case, I think KL Rahul is a very peculiar case, and a very complex one to understand as well. Because you try to move away from him, he does something that keeps you on the hook always. Here, though, I think the BCCI is only complicating things for itself, where it can't decide whether it really wants. Like, it had decided in the case of a Pujara and a Rahane that, okay, bye-bye is bye-bye. We are parting ways now. We are not turning back.
Yep.
You made that decision. With KL, you've not reached that situation yet that you want to make a decision for once and for all whether you want to part ways. It was pretty much known that he's going to be traveling. The time that he was sent for the India tour, you knew that it's been done for a reason, and he knew he was getting drafted in the side as well, and all of that happened exactly to the T as we'd all predicted. And contrary to maybe what many people would have then said as well, including some of us in this studio, that okay, a call has been made. But it was Australia. The conditions were such. He has a century there in Sydney. His record away from home is better than most people around him at the moment. So you had to consider situations work out in a way that he had to open as well. Okay, and now he's repaid the faith again.
Yeah. He repays the faith, but in the case of the Indian fan, it's very short-term memory loss for them.
But how do you? And you know why his average, it remains around that 30 mark, because one of these innings will keep coming once in a while.
Yeah.
But now what do you do? Again, an away series becomes very tricky. Home series, again, couple of guys, closely contested numbers, you can still make the call. Here though, firstly, it's not always the case, but then experience matters. Away conditions, and what KL has done over here is, he may end up with 3 digits as well. Who knows? That he's really made his experience count, and he's reminded this team that you need me just as much as I do. So will the Indian team now have to find a way to fit him in? I think they'll have to. And will KL be happy playing at 6? I think he will be.
Yeah, he will be. See, he's a team guy. He'll bat in any position that the team management wants him to. So, he will bat at 6. If Shubman doesn't make it, he bats at 3.
But there's a joke that's trending on social media. Are you guys aware of that?
No.
With regards to the Indian captain, because reports saying, okay, he's reached and this and that.
Tomorrow he's expected to reach.
But now people are saying on social media that the BCCI has asked Rohit Sharma to extend his paternity leave.
Oh,
because
no.
things seem to be working fine.
Yeah.
Under the new captain.
Yes. KL Rahul's from the Indian cricket team. Yes. We don't have that much of Shivam Giri section today, but yes, this tops the list. I mean, even from 2000, that film that Govinda acted, he's like that only. 10 different characters in 10 different minutes. Yeah. So, yes, very, very good indeed. This is from Raja Babu, right? Pawan? Yeah. Raja Babu. It is from Raja Babu. Multifaceted indeed. So, let's take a couple of comments at this point in time. Danush is saying, happy Virat didn't bat, end of the day, Shashwat happy, Iyer hundreds. Iyer scored another 100 today in the SMAT.
4:30 is the game.
Oh, 4:30 is the game. What is Iyer hundreds?
I'll have to check.
See, Tilak Verma scored 300s, that package is up. So, yeah. Ashish Dar,
Mumbai is playing at 4:30 as far as I saw it. Right?
Going by number of wickets yesterday, I felt Indian batting might solve the maths puzzle of what comes next in series. 36, 46, should have been 56, but happy to be proven wrong. Yep, everybody loves to be proven wrong. Pawan Holla, at least for this series, India should stick to KL and Jaiswal as openers.
Rohit can bat
5 or 6.
Going to 28.
No, yeah, even Shreyas has scored 130. The game was in the morning.
But against whom did Mumbai play?
They played against Goa.
So you were saying, let's go back to the 2018-19.
Yeah.
When Rohit was batting in
Rohit
the lower
did play
middle
at
order.
5-6 in that 2018-19 series.
Yes.
Not a bad move, but then, just to fit in a KL, you would want to do all these kind of things. So
Back then, Rohit wasn't the captain. Now he is.
now he is.
So good luck trying to move him.
Very good luck. Yep. Ashish, the Ross batting till lunch helps all moisture dried up. But I think, see, the tail didn't do well. And that's why I think they got bundled out quite. I mean, they did hang on for 30
2 hours. They roughly.
So that was the
actually,
first.
they were 2
indication.
minutes shy only of
Extending the lunch.
Exactly.
System. But Ashish, there, I think the moisture had already dried up. Because if the tail could last for 30 overs, then boss, there was nothing on the pitch today. Which is why 17 today, yesterday, 3 today with an average of 66. So that's why it's not going to be easy. Rakesh Bhushan Singh, Sky vacated his position of Tilak Verma, will Rowe vacate his position for KL. Sports today and yesterday dugout played 2.5 days for test match. What was the basis of the same? Okay,
let me answer that.
Yeah.
Yes, Rakesh, we were all there and we made that prediction because, the way that the game was poised at that point, you expected the pitch to have behaved the way it was behaving yesterday. Also, can I add that Australian bowlers over here as well aided some of that batting that we saw from India, because I was looking at numbers as well. They were bowling a little short today. They were 80 centimeters short in terms of where the ball was landing today. I'm not taking away the credit from the batters here. The seam movement was also pretty much the same. Again, I'm just going by what I heard from the broadcaster and the commentators who were putting out these numbers. But this is the kind of batting that you've not seen from India in a while. This is also what has happened against what was happening yesterday and against what we thought as well, that the conditions have in fact flattened out. You were expecting conditions to deteriorate, and since we saw the whole day's game, I can tell you the batters weren't troubled really. The ball was coming very nicely onto the bat, and it could be, as Shashwat earlier pointed out, it could be the use of the heavy roller that Australia asked for.
Yep.
And multiple other factors as well. This is a new sort of a scenario where you're seeing, because you go historically as well in the 4 test matches that you've not seen a lot of runs being scored in the second inning. So what we're seeing is a bit of an anomaly, and that's to do with the way that this pitch is behaving. So that's why we are looking at this scenario where this test match is probably and most definitely now heading into fourth day as well.
But again, Rakesh Bhushan, no one ever predicted the pitch would flatten out this extreme. I never expected the Perth wicket to be like that. So let's take some general comments, Pawan. Yeah, let's take some general comments at this stage. Priyanshu, Gavaskar, Tendulkar, Kohli as 100 at Perth. Destiny chose Jaiswal to be the next big thing. Rohit, Jaiswal, KL, Virat, Gill, Pant can be the batting order. Gill will enjoy number 5 as his stroke maker. Maybe in that sense. GGK, this is just start of Oz humiliation after final smashing. Oz test decline will start. WTC is over. But Australia test decline started much before GGK, and if it's final, okay, in the tea break he was saying that I don't know for what reason he was targeting me, GGK, because he was saying egg on my face, but then I told him I like egg. GGK, if it's final, please send me the address. I will get cake, I will get pies, I will get eggs, okay. I want to smash you in that sense. Will that happen? I want that to happen. It's all in fun banter. It's nothing malicious about it. But can you give me the address? Then I'll come and ensure that, okay, cake is yours, pie is yours, eggs are yours, all in good banter. So, if final happens, okay. But Australia's test decline has happened. It started from Brisbane, not 2021. It started from Shamar Joseph's spell. And in this entire cycle,
I'm reserving, I'm taking the 5th here. I'm not calling it because I don't think there's any decline per se in Australian cricket. The way I look at it, this steamroll Pakistan also not too long back.
3-0.
And that's not saying too much maybe, but look at this Pakistan side that reversed the whole series against England at home.
After 9 days of Multan.
And it was this Australian side only that beat you, regardless of these averages dropping and all in batting averages dropping in Australia. They were the ones who beat you not too long back in the WTC final.
See, it is simple. Let India keep the BGT, ICC trophies are ours.
Yeah.
That is a simple way. And again, we have this convenient England cricket team mentality. You don't win anything, then these series are important for us. Every series is important. Every ICC event is very important. Okay. Let's not degrade things. You're saying, this bilateral is more important than a World Cup or a World Test Championship. If you win a series, it has to lead to the World Test Championship. Period. That's how we have to orient ourselves, because if it doesn't lead you to the World Test Championship final and don't win it, it's of no use, these series wins, honestly. That's why I'm a big fan of the WTC. It adds context into each and everything. So let's see how the next, any other comments, or it's done, Pawan? Any other comments? So,
Okay, last one.
Alston Minces. I feel Australia too have a chance. Pitch seems to be flat, and if we consider the 2013 Ashes case, 400 would be a chaseable target for Australia. Khwaja, Travis, Marsh, Carey could be the key. But Alston, I think this bowling attack is far more menacing than in England one of 2013. Let's be very honest about it. Yes, there was a Broad, there was a Bresnan, there was an Anderson, but Anderson in Australia had always struggled.
And the conditions aren't going to get flatter.
It
It
will.
was the best day to bat today.
Day 3 might also be a good day to bat on, but 4 and 5 generally you don't do well unless the pitch doesn't deteriorate at all. Then and only then Australia have a chance. Otherwise, no. Even 400 won't be a chaseable total. It's very difficult. Australia will put up a better fight, I am sure, but not really. Daniel M. Smith, Steve Smith has only 2 golden ducks, one to Stain when he was young and good one to Bumrah just yesterday in his twilight of his career. I mean, Steve Smith, as I said with Virat Kohli, the higher they go, the bigger is their fall. And Steve Smith, he's had an equally woeful 2 years I am not counting from Ashes.
Ashes, he got a century.
He got a century plus WTC final also he got a century. After that, from July 2023 till now, he's been.
But let's see, that was Steve Smith the opener, na? All those numbers.
No, not in the Ashes.
Not in the Ashes, I'm saying in the last series. It's
But
only
there was just a 1, 2, 3 games he opened, not much.
5 games.
No.
Yeah, he opened.
2.
3 was 4. He opened against West
versus
Indies.
Pakistan also, no, not versus Pakistan.
2 versus West Indies, 2 versus New Zealand.
2, yeah, when Warner left mid-series, right? Versus West Indies.
No, Warner's last series was against Pakistan.
No, after this West Indies, how many test matches he
2.
2 he opened, both.
And also New Zealand he opened.
Yeah, 4. Not 5.
Yeah, that's about it. So he didn't open much. So Rakesh Bhushan, Shashwat, smile please if KL got a good score at the same Iyer got a century in Esmat. I think Indian team will fight hands. BG, any chance for World Chess Championship in the hindsight? Rakesh Bhushan, still no. You have to win 4-0 or 5-0. And again, let us be very, very realistic about it. You can win one test. We had said one test India will win. It won't be a whitewash.
series is not getting done yet, guys.
2014 India won the first test in England. I mean the second test. They won, draw, one thing, but they lost the next 3.
Even
So let's
South
see.
Africa.
And I am smiling too.
South Africa, you won the first one.
In Centurion, yeah, but then
Yes.
they lost the next 2 in 2021.
Yes.
So that's why. It's a long series. It's just day 2 of 46 in the BGT. There's still a lot of time. So in hindsight, WTC, if you lose one more, that's it, I think. Game over. Then you have to rely on whole lot of other results to ensure you get in. But then apart from that, nothing else. So that's about it, folks. We'll be back for the dugout at 6:30 p.m. IST.
So
We'll
2.5 hours, roughly that, 2 hours 24 minutes.
Yep.
That's when we see you again. We'll try and we will be building up to the auctions.
Also, yes, tomorrow, day after, not just this test match, there is also the IPL mega
So
auction.
6:30 are we doing auctions?
Most likely, yes.
Most likely, but then it depends on what the people are talking about. Is it the Perth exploits?
You can let us
Is
know
it
in the comment
BGT?
section what do you guys want.
Yeah.
Yeah, please leave us with your comments.
Please leave us what we should do about the dugout. Should we do
BGT
auction?
or-
Should we do BGT? Because it's like a thali. We've got a lot of options. What do we take? So put
There
us.
was lots of updates on the Champions Trophy as well yesterday.
This is a buffet.
Yeah, it's a buffet. Champions Trophy. See,
Tomorrow for the auction, like last year.
Champions Trophy, the final stamp is going to happen on November 26th. You can check out the video that we've done. So check it out and see you at 6:30 p.m. for the dugout. India, Australia or IPL auction, you tell us. Bye-bye.